Artists, creatives, and designers, welcome to Dream Aloud Art, the podcast where creatives are educated on seeing value in themselves and their creations. Presented to you by RTA, respecttheartist.com. I'm your host, fellow creative and friend, Electra B. Frederick. Let's go. Artists. What's good, y'all? Hold on a second. I was checking my mic, making sure my mic is on. We don't want no problems, do we? We don't want no problems. Y'all, I'm sitting here. I am not sponsored by anybody just yet, and I'm not even sure if I care to be sponsored by someone else, but let me tell y'all something. If you don't know about Retreat Drinks, like you have to go to their website, Retreat Drinks. If you don't know about them, I need to put you on, because this cacao, not the cocoa. I hear some y'all talking about, oh, you mean cocoa, like hot chocolate? No, it's not what I'm talking about. This cacao though, what? It's a mood booster. I'm sure some of y'all are not shocked that I am sipping on this cacao. All right. So I got to talk to y'all. I know some of y'all have looked at the title of this video and you're wondering, okay, what is she talking about? What is she talking about? Flirting with my power. Like what? Flirting with my power, flirting with my creativity. So let's dive in. Let's do this. Y'all know we don't waste no time. So this is a bonus episode. I know I have a lot of artists who really embrace the business content or the strategic content, but I'm going to tell you, it doesn't matter what you're trying to do, what you did, or what you plan on doing. You got to be amplified from within, baby. Like there's no way anything is going to unfold the way you'd like for it to unfold unless you are properly amplified. That doesn't always mean thrusting forward in the physical sense to stress yourself out. Then you're depleted and you're exhausted. And then you're like, but this is the life I'm supposed to. No, that's not what I'm talking about. We're talking about awakening a power that's already in you. And to the artists who can absorb that information at this time, they know I'm talking to them. And if I'm being honest, a lot of the artists who tune in realize that there is some kind of amplifying, there is some kind of activation that needs to happen. So let me take a moment out to sip this cacao. If y'all could quit playing games and thinking this is hot cocoa. So flirting. Just so we're all on the same page. Y'all know how I roll. Just so we're all on the same page, I'm going to hit up Merriam-Webster's dictionary on y'all. So what does it mean to flirt? To flirt means, here's what they share with us, to move erratically. Example, butterflies flirting among the flowers. The next definition, to behave amorously. Is it amorously? Without serious intent. Here's the example. He flirts with every attractive woman he sees. And another example under the second definition, to show superficial or casual interest or liking. And the example is flirting with the idea. And the third definition, to come close to reaching or experiencing something. Example, flirting with disaster. So let's give our energy to the second definition. To behave amorously without serious intent. And the other definition under number 2. So number 2 has an A and an B. And an A and a B. Say that 5 times fast. So B states to show superficial or casual interest or liking. So some of y'all who know me, well, I don't, you don't even have to know me personally to know that I am a very lighthearted and charismatic person, in which most people interpret, or not most, some people may interpret that as flirting. And that's fine if you want to interpret that as flirting, but I stay, my dominant energy is very lighthearted, very charismatic, very interactive. And yes, I engage physically, like I'll, touch someone or hug them or put my hand on their shoulder, or like that feels more natural to me than to be reserved or standoffish, unless it calls for it at that time. You stay in your space respectfully. Okay, cool. How about this hot cacao? Hold on. How about it? It's so good. Okay. So for me, and for some of you, you might be very lighthearted and charismatic and, dabbling and playing with the idea of being a creative. And as you know, I support that. If that's something that you want to do, and usually this falls along the lines of doing art as a hobby or simply for enjoyment. And hear me when I use these words, simply for enjoyment, which means you're not prioritizing the need to make money over the enjoyment. The enjoyment can be priority. The love for it can be priority. And I support that wholeheartedly. But sometimes it's the amount of stress to make money that can overpower the enjoyment. But that's a whole nother, y'all know, that's a whole nother episode. Okay. So flirting with your power. What I'm talking about is that most of the artists tuning in have a desire to unlock something deeper, something more meaningful, something that feels more purposeful, and have that kind of energy be transformative in their business, life, their art, their family, like in their experience here on earth. They want that energy to be the dominant energy. They want that amplifying to be, that's the dominant. That's what it's like, it's like they know their name. That's their first name and they're good. Like this is what I do. This is how I live my life, is off of this energy. And again, y'all can have all the business strategy tactics in the world, but don't act like you've never heard of anyone having X amount of money and still being miserable. Like, y'all know that's a real thing, right? But for some reason, so many people still want to believe differently. They want to believe that somewhere in this equation, the act of receiving the money will solve the internal traumas, or it will solve the depression, or it will solve, like, y'all. And I feel like collectively we are doing better with really understanding really understanding that your intellect is not the most, it's not going to solve your issues. In other words, receiving information is not going to solve your issues, just information in itself. All right. How many times have we glazed our eyes over the books that we've been reading? We're glazing our eyes over it. We might remember a little bit informationally, but there's something else going on in our mind that is overpowering receiving the information. So I'll say it in a more simple way. You're reading, but you're thinking of something else. And you're wondering, like, what is happening here? Because I'm supposed to be reading. I'm supposed to be comprehending this, but for some reason, it's just not registering, right? It's just not clicking. So that voice, that thought, the thoughts and the energy behind the thoughts, when that's turned up, you're on a whole different level. So let's bounce back to the flirting. When someone is flirting with someone, like me, for example, if I'm being lighthearted and charismatic flirting, and I use those words instead of flirting because, usually that's, people will automatically associate that you want something from this person. You want a relationship with this individual, or you want some kind of friendship, or you want some kind of something ship, partnership, business partnership, So for me, I'm going to use this example. if I'm lighthearted and charismatic and I'm engaging in conversation with someone and it's like, oh, this is good, this is a whole vibe, da 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 da, right? In that moment, sometimes when I'm interacting with someone, I know that I'm conscious enough, and that person is a whole responsible adult. They are conscious enough that we both would have to have a conversation before we can decide if we're going to be friends or we're, going to grow in a relationship from that point forward, right? And I'm using friendship because, well, friendship is the basis of any relationship. I feel a healthy relationship with anyone. But when it comes to your creativity, imagine that you're having a conversation with your highest power, right? You're having a conversation with your highest creative power. And are you shying away from it? Are you afraid that it's not going to accept you or you're not going to accept it? Are you questioning up and down whether or not this power is even worth pursuing? And I'm going to redirect the verbiage when I said pursuing, because it is within you already. So it's the pursuing within. It's going within. It's going deeper. Is it worth it? Like, that's what some of y'all are even asking. Is it even worth it to unlock that? Is it worth it? Here's the thing. When it comes to the example I gave of me interacting with someone else, right? We're two conscious, responsible adults who can and will decide whether or not this is a vibe for us to continue talking, being in touch, whatever, right? And there is, because we're a human being who's conscious and responsible, and we make errors and we learn, and we're not perfect. Because we are not perfect human beings, there is a likelihood that one of us will not accept the other one. All right. So I'm going to make reference to some of my shy folks, right? My shy artists out here who may be shy because they're not sure, or shy, or let me redirect that. They're afraid of rejection. Let's focus on that. So let's get away from the shy for a moment. I'm going to talk about the artist who's afraid of rejection. And they hold on to what has happened before and they were rejected, or what could possibly happen, right? But they may not reference the times where they were accepted. They may not reference the times where they were embraced, but they'll just go reference the times when they were rejected. And so now they're afraid to make that move. They're afraid to express. They're afraid to lean into it because they're going to reference the rejection. So when it comes to that creative power that I'm talking about, where I gave the example, I said, imagine if that creative power was a person or outside of you, or you could see it with your eyes and you can experience it with your 5 senses, right? If you could experience it with your 5 senses, then you would run through the same thought process. If you're not coming from a healthy foundation of confidence, y'all know I talk about this all the time, then you will look at your creative power. Again, if that creative power was in front of your face, but it's inside of you, right? If it was in front of you, you would go through the whole rundown of, well, I don't know, I am attracted to this energy here, but I don't, should I say something? Should I not? Or, I'll kind of say, hey, or maybe I'll just flirt a little bit, but there is a lack of commitment. You don't want to, air quotes, put yourself in that position because you are low-key afraid that your creative power will not accept you. But I'm gonna say it again because some of y'all need to hear that again. You are low-key afraid that your creative power will not embrace you. You're afraid that it won't accept you. You're afraid, and so you stay away from it. And you tell yourself that's not really like that's not like real power. Real power means getting money. Real power is having, the power of influencing people. Like, that's real power. Let me tell y'all something. The influence doesn't even hit the same if your inner power ain't where it's supposed to be in a healthy context. It'll hit, but it won't hit for long. So some artists are flirting around with their creative power. They have yet to make the commitment. But here's the twist, right? I was saying they're afraid of the rejection. Your creative power already loves you. Your creative power wants you. Do you hear me? Oh, that hit different, boy. I'm getting full body chills. Oh, oh, I'm gonna let y'all feel it too in my voice. Oh my goodness. While I sip this cacao, it's still hot, 15 minutes into this podcast. Did you hear me? I need for y'all to turn it up. I need for you to rewind 15 seconds. Maybe you need to rewind 60 seconds on this one. Your creative power already loves you and wants you. Your creative power wants to rock with you, but you know what you have to do? You have to commit. You have to commit to it. You have to embrace it. You have to. You have to. And then I'm gonna go deeper because some of y'all are like, what you mean, Electra? What you mean? What you mean? What I'm going to lean toward is that in order for you to meet that creative power halfway, you simply have to accept it. You have to accept that you have this power in you. It's just like a movie. That's where the movies draw their inspiration, but that's another conversation. The power is literally already in you. The question is, are you going to release it? Tap into it, embrace it, whatever. But you got to quit flirting around with it, because as long as you keep playing these games with it, and I'm using games in the sense of when people are flirting with the intent of playing a game. So let's just say that you're willing to embrace your creative power, the real one, not, y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all know. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm saying. So I have to say it like that because it's different for each person what that means. So it sounds very general right now because I'm talking to a general audience. I'm not talking to an individual. If I was talking to an individual, like a coaching call or a consultation, then we break it down and we really look at what that means for that individual, right? So there's a persona that they're upholding. There is an idea that they're holding, and it's not the real idea. So let me rewind. I had to give that spill so y'all understand. I'm speaking generally for certain aspects because I'm not talking to an individual who can tell me more about themselves. The link is in the description too. If you want to learn about a consultation with me and be for real, be for real. Be someone who wants to be committed. They want to actually sit down. They want to debunk. They want to dive deeper, and they want to find out what kind of games am I playing here? So here's my quick insert. Even if you think you're having a business call with me, you're going to come out feeling like you just took a shower. That's just how it is. You're going to be like, okay, I did get the business tips, but what else did I just pick up from that woman? Okay. So I give it to you real, and I'm just here. I'm letting y'all know that. That's my disclaimer. All right. So what can you do to embrace this creative power, right? You have to accept it. You have to lean into it. You have to quit playing the games. That's what I was saying earlier, where energetically and on the mental plane with your brain, okay? Your brain is not fully processing this energy. This is where, and let me give a description. This is where an artist puts the idea of being their natural creative self. They put it in storage compartments. So they treat it like, let's imagine a book, right? And they're carrying this book, which is their true creative self. They're carrying the book. The book symbolizes the true creative self. They're carrying it with them, but then when they go, they won't bring it to work. All right. They won't bring it to work because it's not allowed. Okay. So they don't bring it to work. So it's almost like hear me when I say this, it's almost like when they go there, they can't bring it because it's against the rules. And so they just they leave it at home, or maybe they leave it in the car. But the truth is they really have like an excerpt from the book in their back pocket. They pulled out a page and they keep it with them. Right? So what I'm saying is the more that you embrace it, this is not an on and off switch where you just turn the switch on and you're good. No, this is the willingness and desire to unlock it, the willingness and desire and the curiosity to keep diving in and finding out who you are. Who are you? Let me say it like that. Who are you and why are you here? Who are you and why are you here? And if you keep moving in that direction, that is the willingness to accept your true creative power. The willingness to accept it will keep you rising. It's like the sun rising. The sun does not rise in 2 seconds, okay? The sun is continuously rising. And then, of course, the sun sets, right? So it's going through its natural cycle. So you, as an individual, are going through your natural cycle, right? We're aligned in this way to have these cycles of our life. But it's the willingness to understand that is your natural cycle. You are supposed to be moving in that direction of natural growth, not just the physical, but within that creative. Listen, that creative spirit is trying to talk to you, and you know it. And you playing these games. Some of y'all, I love y'all, right? Some of y'all are playing these little games with it, and you know you want it. You want it, but you have not made the commitment yet, because it's easier to keep doing the same thing you've been doing for the past 17 years. Or it's easy. It's just easy. You think it's easy. No, it's your physical body has gotten used to it. Your mind, the physical brain, has gotten used to it. And so to change this healthy routine, because that's what it's translated to, but for some of y'all know it doesn't even feel fully healthy, but you just keep going through the motions, right? But that little corner of a thought is saying, why are we still doing this? Like that little thought is like, okay, what are we doing? What are we doing? I see that we're not getting beneficial results. It's not really feeling super good, but I think this is what I'm supposed to be doing, I guess. But again, when you quit flirting and playing these little games and blowing kisses and writing little love notes to the real creative in you, when you stop playing these little games and, little winky eye text messages and whatnot, I'm just saying, y'all know what I'm talking about, these little games. You over here following. Ooh, let me say it. Oh, I gotta say it. This is such a good bonus episode. I gotta say it. It's such a good one because I can feel it, right? I just feel good talking about this. This is so good. You are following. Hold on. Oh, wait a minute. It hit me. You are ghost following your creative power. Dang. You're ghost following it. You're ghost following it. You're ghost liking it, or liking all your creative powers photos. You are just enamored. You are in love with what you see, but you will not connect. You won't do it. You won't do it. So I think we've come across something. So are you flirting, or are you just admiring from a distance? Ooh. Ooh. Oh my goodness. You just see your creative power at work and you just walk by, and in your mind, you just be like, whoa, man, that creative power, boy, what is it doing to me? That creative power is reminding of you who you are. The question is, do you want to lean into that? And I done told y'all before we finish this episode, because some of y'all are tripping. You're multitasking, you're cooking, you're doing your nails, you're doing your hair, you missed several points, and then you're like, oh wait, was I supposed to learn something? Yeah, because you weren't paying attention. So let's go back over this again. How do you connect with it? Number one, it's very simple, but my question to you is you going to do it? My question to you is, are you going to do it? So number one is to lean into that. Lean into asking, who am I and why am I here? I don't care what you're doing around the house. This is why y'all need to schedule a call with me. I don't care what you're doing around the house. I don't care who you're talking to. You have to go within, become fully present and aware in that moment. I'm so passionate right now because this stuff didn't make sense to me before, but it's like when I got it, I got it. I got it. You have to go deep into that moment and ask, is this something that I do, the real me? Or is this something that I've done as a practice because of fill in the blank? That's one simple example of saying, who am I and why am I here? How you spend your time. Who are you and why are you here? It's like a job. You've reported to Earth, baby. Welcome. You're an artist. Welcome. So, who are you? An artist. In whatever capacity you're identifying with an artist, a writer, a poet, a visual artist, a singer, whatever. Who are you? All right. And why are you here? Are you doing that? How are you giving your energy to that? How are you embracing that? Like what? Come to presence in the moment and ask, is this in alignment with my real self, the highest self of why I'm here? Or is this a practice that I've just been carrying on? Because in the physical body, that's just what I've been trained to do. And you need to schedule a call with me. Link in the description. Link up with me. If you don't like filling out a form or you don't like doing anything like that, you just hit me up on the DM. Go to my IG, DM me. Boy, let me tell y'all something. If it wasn't for all like these ways of communicating with artists, I would just give y'all my number because like we can make this happen. I'm about waking it all the way up, y'all. Not like sorta, not like, y'all know what I'm talking about, where you have reported to work, you've gone to work, but you're literally still trying to wake up. That's what I'm saying. Some of y'all are out here working, but you're still not awake. And as long as we're human beings, if we're willing to, we're going to keep desiring that awakening. We're going to keep desiring connecting with the highest creative power within us because we got it, baby. Do you hear me? We got it. We got it. But you need to lean into it to access it. All right, I'm wired up and my cacao has gotten room temperature and I don't play games like that. We need hot boiling water again. I need hot boiling water. I love y'all. I absolutely love y'all. I am just so happy with y'all. I was talking to an artist last night. I was in his studio. We were having a really good conversation. And I told him that I care for my artists so much. And I'm so passionate about what I do that at any given point in the day or the evening, whatever, but at any given moment, if I stop and go into gratitude for what I'm here to do, I could cry on the spot. It's so overwhelming. It's so overwhelming. So if you're in the Richmond area, listen, I'm having classes and they are free classes. Y'all need to come through. Come through to the free classes. You have to go to my Instagram to get all the information on that. It's located at Stuff. That's the name of the art boutique, which is an awesome boutique. Shout out to Kelly Adams out there. But you need to come to my free classes. And again, you have to go to my IG to find out the schedule. And you need to join RTA. Some of y'all, all that information, join Respect the Artists. Okay. The movement is super real. I'm just so happy. Trust and believe. Every artist that joins RTA, we just show so much love to them. And it's about educating you too. It's about uplifting you and opening up a community for you to connect with other creators that they want this life. And what I'm saying is they want the life of being educated and motivated rightfully, without everybody and their brother all up in their business. Like everyone trying to create all these 18,000 blocks and red tape and all. It's like, what can I just do me, please? And can I connect with artists that want to do them? Don't get me started, y'all. Listen, this is what we're here for. You have a job to do, baby. Do it. Do it. You have a job to do. You didn't come here to just play these games. It's time to stop flirting. Stop flirting with your power. Stop flirting with your creative power and do something about that joint. Make that commitment to your creative power. DM. Woo! Oh my God. DM your creative power. Slide in your creative powers DMs and be like, listen, I've been watching you from afar, but can we please meet up for lunch or something? Like, can I just something about you, creative power? There's something about you that I like. And I don't know what it is, but I feel it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's like, ooh, I want some of that. Give me that creative power. Your creative power, you know how your creative power is going to respond, right? Because we just talked about how it's going to respond. Your creative power is going to be like, got you. I got you, boo. I got you. I was waiting on you. Oh, your creative power said, I was waiting on you. Do you want it? That's the question. All right, I love y'all. This legit bonus episode. I thought it was going to be like 15 minutes, but y'all know how this works. Okay, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And y'all, again, links are in the description. Let's connect. Let's make this happen. Join RTA. Link up with me. Let's get on this phone. Let's talk about what's going on with you and how we can get you closer to your goals. All right, love y'all. Artists, creatives, and designers, it has been an honor and a pleasure to spend this time with you. I'm grateful for your encouragement, love, respect, and support. Follow this podcast and share this episode with another creative who needs to hear it. Your positive ratings and reviews are highly appreciated. Screen capture this episode, post it, and tag me on Instagram at DreamAloudArt so I can show the love in return. For more information on having an artist consultation with me or for being on the YouTube show for artist interviews, check the description on this episode or go to respecttheartist.com. That's RESPECTHEARTISTS.com. Much love to y'all. And remember, RTA stands for Respect the Artists. I'll catch y'all in the next episode. Peace, peace from here to the Far East.